What kind of government punishes those who invest in their country? At what point did owning a second property, often built from decades of work, savings, and emotional ties, become a crime worthy of economic penalty? The latest move by councils across England to levy a 100% council tax premium on second homeowners is not just another tone-deaf policy, it is a calculated act of political convenience that reeks of class warfare, short-termism, and intellectual laziness. This is not governance, it's scapegoating. There is a fashionable narrative in Westminster today: blame the homeowner. Paint them as villains of the housing crisis. Frame the issue in binaries, rich versus poor, locals versus outsiders, and pretend that taxing second homeowners into oblivion will somehow magic up affordable housing for struggling communities. It's a seductive narrative, ripe for political headlines and easy applause. But it's also lazy, wrong, and economically suicidal. The government claims this punitive tax is about addressing the housing crisis. Let's be clear, there is indeed a housing crisis. But it is a crisis born from decades of planning failures, bureaucratic bottlenecks, and the complete inability, or unwillingness, of successive governments to build enough homes or unlock sufficient land. Blaming people who happen to own a second property, many of whom contribute significantly to local economies, is a gross deflection from this systemic failure. Second homeowners are not oligarchs hoarding luxury penthouses in Mayfair. They are, more often than not, ordinary Britons, retirees, working professionals, people who inherited homes or invested in property as a hedge against inflation or as part of a long-term plan. Many have deep ties to their communities. They pay local tradespeople, support rural economies, keep high streets alive during off-seasons, and use local services sparingly. They do not drain resources, they fuel them. And now, they are being punished. How is it defensible that a person who may only visit their second property several times a year is forced to pay the same, if not double, the council tax as someone who resides permanently, consuming schools, healthcare, and social care services year-round? The moral logic here collapses under scrutiny. This is not about fairness. It's about financial extraction. The government estimates this tax will rake in an extra £445 million for councils. That is a paltry figure in the grand scheme of public spending, a drop in the ocean compared to the billions wasted annually on mismanaged infrastructure projects, bloated bureaucracy, or foreign aid with no accountability. If this government were serious about housing reform or economic sustainability, it would be incentivizing ownership, not penalizing it. What's more disturbing is the chilling cultural message behind this policy, that you are no longer welcome in your own country if you have done well for yourself. This is not just about taxation, it is a form of ideological warfare against aspiration. The idea that hard work should be rewarded is being systematically dismantled in favor of a punitive, envious politics that seeks to divide rather than uplift. Let us not be fooled by the rhetoric of local needs or community fairness. If councils truly cared about communities, they would focus on building more homes, reforming planning laws, and supporting developers to construct affordable housing on suitable land, not fleecing property owners for daring to invest in a part of Britain they love. Ironically, driving these owners out, as some are now doing, will leave ghost towns, empty pubs, and hollow economies in their wake. The exact opposite of what the policy claims to address. Nigel Farage is right to call this what it is: extortion. For all the criticisms thrown at him, on this issue he speaks a truth too many are afraid to voice. It is not greedy to own property. It is not immoral to want to pass on wealth, create roots in different parts of the country, or provide a retreat for your family. It is not criminal to succeed. But this government, desperate for easy wins and fresh revenue, is treating it as such. This policy will not solve the housing crisis. It will not create a single new affordable home. What it will do is erode public trust, fracture communities, and signal to every aspiring homeowner that their success will one day be viewed as a liability. That is a dangerous precedent for any country to set. If Britain wants to remain a place where people build lives, invest in property, and care about their communities, then it must stop treating its property owners like cash cows. This tax is not just bad economics, it is bad politics, bad ethics, and bad policy. It deserves nothing less than loud, unapologetic opposition.